Morning guys and girls and all the Metalheads out there. Martin the Metalhead here, hope you're doing well. I've been Osh today, I've just left my hostel. And my plan for today is I'm going to get to the border with Uzbekistan, cross it, and be in Andijan tonight. It's a bit sad I didn't find my hostel last night. Stupid Google, stupid directions I guess, but what do you know, sometimes listings on booking.com ain't 100% correct. You just have to pick through with a fine-tooth comb. So it's gonna be a bit of a walk to the bus station, save myself a couple of som, but then again, I'm gonna see a lot of exciting sights around town. Yesterday I saw a statue of Lenin, would you believe it? 2 statues of Lenin. So here we are, we've got the main square of Osh. That's the flag of Kyrgyzstan flying up there. And they actually still have a statue of Lenin right there, could you believe, after all this time? It's like the 3rd time I've seen a statue of Lenin in all the visits to Kyrgyzstan. Oh, wow. I keep saying wow all the time when I see new things. So we've got this park right here. Got a bunch of different statues of Kyrgyz folklore. We've got a wheel there. We've got... Don't tell me that's another statue of Lenin over there. Because I hate to... Like, I got too many. Yeah. So... Oh yes, so that man, that's got his traditional Kyrgyz cap on. That's good. But these mountains you see right here, I'm pointing, that's a big mountain in Osh. Yeah. You can actually hike up there and see the city. Don't think I'll be doing that with my asthma, but it doesn't really bother me. You won't believe this. I just saw an Indian myna bird in Kyrgyzstan. I had no idea I could fly that far from India to Kyrgyzstan. You see, me in Australia, I grew up seeing these birds, and they were introduced to Australia to kill off a beetle. But then it became a pest, because they started killing off native birds, and it's now a bloody epidemic. There are too many Indian myna birds in Australia, but you can actually reduce the number by catching them in a trap with dog food, and then gassing them with a hose pipe. But just like, they brought in the cane toad to kill a bloody beetle, and then they brought in the Indian myna bird to kill a bloody bug. So, how's it? God, even though I don't have any Australian ancestry, I can't believe my country of birth has done some dumb things. Alright, I got another 1.5 kilometers to the Bazaar and 2.3 kilometers to Suleiman 2. So I landed at Bishkek airport Thursday night around 8:30, and 12 hours later I was in the car heading to Osh. The reason I didn't want to do any sightseeing in Bishkek was that I've already seen everything. I've already been around the town for a couple of days in 2017. I thought, time is short here, I need to get on to Uzbekistan, so put the pedal to the metal, and now I'm in Osh. Now, I could have spent a whole day here, like, relaxing, and then getting to the border, maybe today or tomorrow, but I thought, no, today I want to get to the border and get into Uzbekistan. I want to get to Andijan, those like little towns, so I can get a train to Tashkent. Still haven't got my Kyrgyzstan visa yet, so I'm kind of like doubting that I'm going to get it or not. So really like messing around with me and all. Maybe I'll have to pay the embassy a visit on Monday when I'm in Tashkent, my fingers crossed. But the problem is, British citizens need a visa to get to Kyrgyzstan. Australians don't. And even though I have an Australian passport, I do not like using it because of political reasons and my dislikement towards my country of birth. So it doesn't really matter that if I have to pay money to get to Tajikistan. I'm like, okay, it's a country, I can pay for a visa, it doesn't really matter. I mean, there's not much of a difference about what countries an Australian can visit and what countries a British person can't visit. I mean, for one, British citizens can't tour Iran independently, and the Australians can. But if you're in Tajikistan, you need a visa for both Australia and the United Kingdom. So it doesn't really work out to be like, it doesn't work out like in both ways, I guess. So this is the 3-story yurt that is the main attraction here in Osh, and also it's got really good views of the mountains up here. It's quite good. You got to do a bit of a hike up those mountains up there, but my asthma is preventing me from doing things like that. No offense. Yes. And here we've got one of the national heroes of Kyrgyzstan. I'll see if I can say his name in Cyrillic. A-L-B... A-L-B... That can't be an I, seriously. B... Almbek... Datka, so Sam Datka, yeah. So this is Salman 2 Information Center, home of the 3-story yurt. Wow. And boy, am I delighted to be in Osh today. Come to think, I like 2 weeks ago, sitting in a crummy London job with my stupid manager, bitching, moaning, complaining about me doing nothing. And instead of, you know, doing stupid things like I've done in the past, I just walked without notice, didn't say anything nasty, didn't say anything bad, just left. And now I'm here because people who are not jerks, people who do not waste their money on cigarettes and drugs, they get to go to good, nice places. So if you want to visit nice places like Kyrgyzstan or Uzbekistan, you better clean up your act in Britain. You better start saving money. You better, you know, start wearing condoms. You better stop doing stupid things. Because there are many beautiful things to see in the world rather than just looking on a computer screen. I had a really hateful person I didn't like working with for many years, and he's like, oh, why visit the graves? Why can't you just like look at a photograph? Nige, you're an idiot, right? So I'm in Kyrgyzstan because I have this philosophy that there are people in over 100 countries who want me to pop in for a visit and put money in their pockets. So I insist that I never got to say goodbye to you in New Zealand, and I'm sorry, John, that I backstabbed you in London, but I'd like to see you come to Kyrgyzstan one day and then you realize, wow, how bad I've been living life. In the view of a newly built mosque. Looks really colorful to my eyes. Yeah, because Islam is a predominant religion in Kyrgyzstan and through most of Central Asia. Well, in fact, through all of Central Asia, I believe. Yeah. Looks like they've paved the pavements. These roads look quite new. And over there, they got new buildings going up. So, seems like everything's improving here. Not too bad. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yes. I've just been walking since 8:30 today, trying to get to the border. Not many people are hassling me for crap these days, which is good. I said hi to a couple of locals, even though, you know, we have language barriers. It's just nice to say hi to people. Put your hand and say hello. I'm only about less than a mile from the Order Boss station, where I could get a bus to Anjikan for about 150 som, so it's good value. Saves me having to walk across the border on my own, but I'm just hoping that it leaves me behind, because that's what happened on the Kazakh-Kyrgyz border 6 years ago. And the funny story about that border crossing was, a day later, a Chinese-Australian man arrived in my hostel, and he basically said, oh, I left my bag on the Mashuka, and the Mashuka left without me. I'm like, well, how are you going to get your bag back? You don't know where the Mashuka's gone. It's probably gone to Bishkek, it's probably gone back to Almaty. And so he was able to track it down, so good for him. Now, all over Kyrgyzstan, you see signs with exchange rates, USD, Euros, Ruble, and Uzbek Som. You cannot exchange pounds sterling, so I'm warning you that if you're British. don't try bringing your pound sterlings in this country. You really need to have euros, US dollars. You get like 10 more soms for a euro than the US dollar, but literally if you've got rubles and Uzbek som, you just only get like a little bit amount. But that's how currency exchange works over here. So I've just paid about 120 som to get out of Andijan, this minivan for the autobus. It's going to cross the border, get out, exit Kyrgyzstan, enter Uzbekistan, and then take me to Andijan. And we're leaving the Osh autobus. Short ride to the border. Just driving down the main road to the border. Air bus, all over Brad. Well, it's my water bottle. So I've made it to my 97th nation of Uzbekistan right now, just past the border. I actually gained an hour because Kyrgyzstan is an hour behind Uzbekistan, so that's good. I'm just gonna wait for the bus to go to Andijan. I don't have any Uzbek som with me, but hopefully I can swap my Kyrgyz som for Uzbek som. Yeah, there's been an American tourist and he's gonna go to Tashkent, so I'm gonna go follow him. Either way, we're probably gonna take an air-conditioned train. Driving by the streets on the way to Andijan. Man, what good value 120 som gets me from Osh to Andijan. Fortunately, I won't look around Andijan because I really want to get to Tashkent. These are the big cities, you know, with lots of things in them. According to the road signs back then, it's another 21 kilometers to Andijan, about 300 to Tashkent. So, I wonder why I'm going to take the train today, much faster. Now in Andijan, just only a few kilometers until I get to the ultimate bus station, which I know should be walking distance to the train station. Unfortunately, I don't have any Uzbek som on me, but I'm certain I'm going to swap my Kyrgyz for Uzbek. And I won't be sticking around here for much long, or later Tashkent. I've got to take like 20,000 som out of an ATM. Ugh. Don't know how much it's going to cost me in pound sterling, but literally it's like, no, sorry, that's like 200,000 som out of an ATM. So I'm not sure how much it's going to cost me though, but it's like 16,000 som to a pound, so we'll figure that out. So right now I'm on the 15:55 train to Tashkent, which is going to take roughly 6 hours to get to the capital. Really nice to be at an air-conditioned train rather than a marshrutka or a bus. Quite comfortable. This ticket only cost me about 6 quid. So if I leave behind Andijan, bye bye. See you another time. I told myself that when I get to Andijan I didn't want to stick around for long. In fact, I didn't really see much of the signs, so I was like, alright, get here. Try to get some som, get a ticket. So we've got a burger, Snickers, Pepsi, all for about 55,000 som, which is like half the price of my train ticket today, so that's 3 quid, it's not too bad. Into my train journey. Say about Uzbek Railway, the trains are superb. It's good to get from A to B all over
Uzbekistan, but you can actually get a train from Tashkent all the way to Moscow. Or hell, even from Bishkek all the way to Moscow, or Almaty all the way to Moscow. I mean, if you're not too keen on like the Trans-Siberian or the Trans-Mongolian, you should call it the Trans-Central Asian Express. Although, I did go on the Trans-Asian Express between Turkey and Iran many years ago. But then you should call the train from Moscow to Tashkent the Trans-Central Asian Express. Well, train lighting is going on, but the sun is almost going down. I think I'm somewhere between the borders of like Kazakhstan and Tajikistan. This can't be a train station, right? I'm roughly 55 miles from Tashkent. I should get there in the next hour or so. But another problem is I probably don't have enough SOM to pay accommodation for the night. I used to think that US dollars was what you had to pay for accommodation in Uzbekistan, but the place where I'm staying is like, oh, please pay your fee and SOM or debit card or credit card. I'm like, okay, works well, but I still haven't seen an exchange place anywhere in Uzbekistan, and I regretfully really, I feel bad I didn't exchange my Kyrgyz SOM earlier today when I had a chance. Well, I guess I'll have to go back to Kyrgyzstan another time. Okay, I'm back in Tashkent for the first time in my life. This is like one of the main focus cities I wanted to visit. I didn't do much sightseeing in Osh today, because I thought, okay, if I look around in the morning, cross the border, get to Uzbekistan, and then hopefully get to Tashkent by the day's end. Luckily, there's a train that leaves at 3:55 every day, take you to Tashkent, but it's almost 10 o'clock right now. Just walk into a hostel. Now, getting to Uzbekistan from the UK isn't always going to be a cheap deal. Yes, Uzbekistan Airways flies from London to Tashkent a couple times a week, but you're asking for about like 500 or 600 pounds return ticket. Wizz Air have been flying from Abu Dhabi to either Samarkand or Tashkent for the last few months. So literally, if you're in the UK, you could go London, Luton, Belgrade, Abu Dhabi, Samarkand. Not too bad. If you're going to Georgia, it's going to cost you at least 200-ish return to go from Tbilisi or Kutaisi to Tashkent or Samarkand. But it could be cheaper if you were, let's just say, you were fly to Shymkent, which is on the other side of the border, and then get a taxi across. I've got a cheap flight to Baku from Akatau, which the funny thing was I flew into a couple of years ago from Tbilisi. And my flight from Tbilisi to Almaty 6 years ago cost me at least 200 quid. So it was worth it to get to this part of the world. But looking back, I mean, there wasn't any cheaper options just to get here. I mean, actually, Wizz Air used to fly Budapest to Astana, but that stopped. Because now Astana and Almaty, they got flights from Abu Dhabi. To make a quick video while I'm in Tashkent, I'm going to talk about don't always carry your bag around every day because it's not that good for your back. Okay, I left home on a Monday to get to Serbia. Tuesday, I'm just doing a walk around Novi Sad, like this thing on. Wednesday, I'm traveling to Abu Dhabi. Thursday, I'm traveling to Bishkek. Friday, I'm traveling to Osh. Today, I'm traveling to Tashkent. So, from tonight, by the time I get to my hostel, until the time I leave Tashkent on Monday, I'm not going to be walking around with this thing, because this is about 6 kilograms worth of stuff. I just weighed it. I might throw away some clothes, I might get new clothes, depending on like what my situation is in the next few weeks. But literally, it's so good to basically just put your bag away in your hotel and just go backpacking and just look around. Because sometimes carrying a bag all around you is such a pain, especially, you know, going to places and put it in storage, having to go through security checks every now and then. Yeah, so, as I experienced many years ago in Bulgaria, I had a really bad back pain because I was carrying around 7 kilograms every damn day. I wasn't really stopping to smell roses. I was just like hardcore traveling from London to Istanbul without flying. So I'm looking forward to just doing some sightseeing with my cameras and all. And I always make sure I carry a vest on me because for pickpockets, always be aware of that. Anyway, Metalhead, over and out.